Again, I learned that I'm being relied on. So my mentor was Wayne Scott, and he is a judge for fiction writing contests. So I got really lucky with that. He was able to point out a lot of my flaws, as I said before, with my blind spots when I'm editing. He was also able to point out where my words were kind of simplistic when they could be more detailed, and he also pointed out when I got too detailed and my sentences ran long. So he did help me edit my work, but he wasn't my editor. So a lot of the editing that went with my work, I had to do myself. He wouldn't do it for me. As I'm not sure that I'm going to be like an actual author when I'm older, I'm not quite sure if he's going to be a good resource in the future at the moment. So, okay, so my product was actually determined before my research paper because I was like determined to write. That's what I wanted to do. And my product kind of went through a couple of stages. I originally started off just wanting to write, and my teacher and the librarian recommended me to do 3 short stories instead because that would be quicker. But when I started writing, I ended up misunderstanding the length of a short story. I originally thought short stories were 30,000 words each. So if I had gone with writing 3 short stories at 30,000 words each, I would have been writing 90,000 words, which is a lot. So when I was corrected, I actually didn't want to give up on the stories that I had already written. So I decided to talk to my teacher and change to 2 novellas, which would fit into the word count and pacing that I was already going with. But my deadline was coming up, and I hadn't finished my second story, and I hadn't begun editing them. So I panicked, and I was like, well, I'll just go back to my 3 short stories because those will be quick and easy, and I can send them to my mentor and get them back within a certain time. My product is also fantasy genre, or basic fantasy genre, and I'm going to pass this around. So on the screen I have the synopsis of the second story. I decided to pick this one because, I don't know, I think I liked that one the most out of my 3 short stories because I liked the way the character was introduced as kind of a trickster. Go ahead. Okay, so over the course of my project, the book that I picked out was Merchants of Culture by John B. Thompson. His book actually didn't really help me a lot. I could only really use 1 or 2 chapters, which were about basic publishing and what print publishing was doing to compete with online publishing. My research question was, why does holding an actual book while reading aid in the understanding of its content compared to reading the same material on a screen? And using my book and various other sources, such as articles, I was able to learn about how a book, or how holding an actual book allows you to have more of a connection to the author versus reading on a screen. Also, if you're reading out of a book, you have a better memory of where you are in the book because moving with the pages gives you a sort of tactile memory. So some of the articles I looked at focused on indie shops and how those are actually thriving even though a lot of books are coming out electronically because people like the feel of books and being in a homey area, which is what an indie shop provides. So my original point of view on this whole project was that I actually read about 50% of my stuff online. So I was kind of neutral in this, that a lot of what I read was actually from a book and a lot of it was online. So I wanted to get into this project and see why people preferred a book over electronics and vice versa, although I mainly focused on the books. So I personally still really appreciate books. Those will always be what I come back to because I just like being able to actually hold a book and move through the pages on my own and make it my own, I guess. So my research paper was about the importance of reading from a physical book, and how that can benefit you. So reading from an actual book can aid in your memory, as I said before, because turning the pages without, like, other than sweeping up and down, helps you get like a feel for where parts of the book are. My research paper was also meant to help me see what was expected of me as a writer, because if I were to go through writing my book or my stories as if I was going to publish them online, I wouldn't actually have to do all the editing that I did, because that's not required for online publication. So going through my research, I actually learned why it was important for me to be involved in my work so that my readers will have a better connection to me. So the results, I did learn about the publishing process, and I did learn about the editing process because that's mainly what I did. But mainly this project was so that I could learn to have more confidence in myself and in my work, because I originally started off not wanting to share my work, and being forced to give it out to the rest of my classmates helped me get a little bit more confidence in my work. So future plans, I am not actually planning to go on to a degree involving writing, at all. If I do continue writing, it's going to still be a hobby. What I actually plan to do is I plan to head on to do cybersecurity and computer stuff. I also want to keep confident in myself, and I hope this project will help me out when I'm doing cybersecurity stuff, because when I go into that area, I'm going to be in a minority. So I'm kind of hoping that this confidence will stick with me so that I don't have to feel like I need to prove myself against everybody else. Okay. Are there any questions?
What was an indie bookshop?
An indie bookshop is
Tattered cover?
it's not a very big company, it's very small.
Tattered cover.
Yeah, tattered covers, and the Coyote Bookshop are examples because they're very, very little. They're not Amazon or Barnes and Noble. So
Right.
they're
I'm all
one owner sort of thing.
Yeah. Okay. So what did you learn about the publishing process, right?
Okay.
Like you said, if you were going to do step by step, first you do this.
Okay, so to begin, you just write your base draft. Well, I
Right.
guess before that you write your outline and whatnot.
Right.
And then you go on to your base draft.
Right.
And for me, I had to send it to my mentor for him to look over and to give me tips. And he'd send it back, and I'd read his notes, and then I'd have to go through my paper and take his notes and basically edit my work. And for me, I actually push it off to the side and rewrite it. So that's what I do.
Right.
And we go through that a couple of times until he's satisfied with it. And when I get it back after he's satisfied with it, I'll read through it one more time and see if I'm satisfied with it, and then we'll call it done, because I can't actually publish this right now.
Sure, yeah, right. So is that the same process that would happen if you really were going to publish a book, or did you ever look into that?
I didn't look too much into it because
Yeah,
I didn't plan
just
on
curious.
publishing these.
Yeah, sure. I
Um,
understand.
But I think the process would be a lot longer, because on top of just editing my work, I would also have to look at a basic market for my books.
Right.
And I'd also have to look at how I'd want my book to be published.
Right, or illustrated even.
Yeah.
Yeah, would you want illustration?
Yes.
Oh, interesting. Very interesting.
Brittany, what do you think would be the best way for your generation to be reinstated to reading a book?
Yes. That's great.
I mean, they got jokes out there about, they're in a conflict and stuff, so they hand the young kid a book and say, hey, find out where we are in the book, and the guy goes, what's this? Yeah, I mean, that kind of, because they don't read books anymore. Like you're saying, they're texting it, they're in, I don't know. I mean, it's something we were talking about, just going,
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how to encourage.
because we're probably all readers. I mean, we still read books.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, we go in and look at stuff online too. We really like the feel of, like you're saying, you wrote it, the feel of the book, the turning the pages, the really connecting to theoretically fantasize with your main character in the book, and you get into it,
Mm-hmm.
But kids today just, what's a book? I mean, they know what their books are. It'd be interesting to find out, to go into a 6th grade class and ask them how many of them read a book
They do.
over the summer.
Oh.
No, I mean, not be forced to. I mean, you know what I mean?
I think that at the college, I'm gonna say something about this. At the college level, they're pushing more and more ebooks, you know? And if it's cheaper to go the ebook route. But no, that's what that is, it's true.
Full of trees.
I know. And because I was presented with that actually just in the last several years, but at the elementary level, they are
Read,
still
yeah.
reading books. They have to have a book in their hand for independent reading, which is good. But I'm with you, I like to connect with the book. I can't see where it would ever die out. So when you said dying out, I'm like, no, we can't have our books dying out. That would be really sad if we did, and everybody went to the computer just to read their books. Or
Speaking
the
about that,
iPads or whatever.
that's why the indie bookshops are thriving actually, because
Yes.
there are people who prefer books, like younger people prefer books. So that's why the indie bookshops are thriving, because
Okay.
people are going back to like very homey feeling
Books.
stores.
I'm happy about that,
Mhm.
very happy about that. Plus, reading online, I think is really bad for your eyes.
Yeah.
And you can't
Usually,
find anything. You think about that, you cannot find the pages. I know, I love being able to see
you go back there. Brittany did what back there? Wait a minute, I gotta go back there. Oh, yeah, okay, so, right.
Heard of barbed wire books at an almond?
Have I heard of?
Barbed wire books? It's a store up in Longmont. And you can bring books that you are done reading up there. They will not give you money for it, they'll give you a credit to the bookstore. So you can get other books.
That'd be cool.
I don't want to go. Because I read every night before I go to sleep. A real book.
Don't know. It's an
So
interesting
keep
question.
writing.
Yes.
Writing.
Keep writing for
Yeah,
fun, you know, you
do
have to be
write.
professional, but write for fun, who knows? Could be the next Edgar Rice Burroughs or something.
Because I noticed in books
Yeah, someone's pretty good.
especially the second book,
Better.
and then
She draws
you
She
really,
draw. Yeah,
very well.
so she could be the
the
illustrator.
way you started
do the
it really
illustration
grabbed my
too, yeah.
attention.
Yeah.
To want to read it.
I'm
Last
retiring.
night I started 2 books. and
Gonna
I
do
read
that?
all of it, and it's like,
But
She,
I can't draw a
I
straight
don't know
line,
this.
so
It needs to grab me from the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need an
So when you
illustrator.
did your research too, did you find anything on, I mean, was there a lot of research? There probably wasn't, huh?
About what?
How about the value versus e-reading versus holding a book? I
That's
mean,
good work.
were you,
Not directly. There was a
Yeah.
lot of information about like health benefits
okay,
of reading a book and
Okay.
like simply why people preferred reading books.
okay,
There wasn't a
So
lot of
amazing.
just like
Yeah.
why is a book
I would-
so much better than
right, so that was hard to find research probably.
Yeah.
Must be a site
Yeah,
you're
yeah, that would
sitting
be hard to back up your,
It's the money.
yeah, I had to do that indirectly, I guess.
We told her
Okay,
if you want to write,
so, and then,
you
but
have a
you
job,
found some,
money,
so,
Gotcha.
yeah, I didn't
You
really
got
look
to.
at this.
and then work into writing.
It's like most musicians don't realize they need a job. Mark, you got a degree in music, and I kept telling you,
Wait, is this the
get
one?
a second
That's the one that you
Yeah.
brought.
business
Okay,
accounting.
this is the one that you.
Something to make the money too. You can,
It's been out 13 years, and he's still starving her out of being a musician.
Yeah.
I like
So
it.
what inspired you to start writing a lot? What was your inspiration? You just-
Like when I was a kid.
Yeah, when
or
you were a
was
kid.
it-
Mhm, yeah.
Oh,
You don't, a lot of kids don't like writing, and I love it when I have somebody.
I don't
that
know. I
wants
think
to
I
write.
liked writing, and then my teachers encouraged me because they thought I was a good writer. So I was
Oh,
like,
nice.
oh well, if I'm good at it, I might as well keep going.
Yes, yes. Good for you. Good job. Thank you so much. That's one of my favorite subjects.